Hey guys, so this is going to be part 2 of my super long post 2 months experience with the Nintendo Switch 2. That took many takes to say, but that's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, this is going to be focused on game keycards and how I truly feel about this new system that Nintendo is doing when it comes to physical games. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. One of the biggest reasons I was excited for the Nintendo Switch 2 in general, just like the main source of my excitement before it was even announced and then when it was announced, was the third-party offerings. Because I enjoy the PS5, I have a gaming PC, like I play games on Steam, I have a Steam Deck, I play games on GOG if I want to because DRM free and all that. I like high-end gaming, but I prioritize the handheld experience. That's why I play on my Steam Deck a lot. If I can get a JRPG on Steam, I'll play it on Steam. If I can get it physically on Switch, I'll play it on Switch. Because I will play it in handheld. I will try to actively, this sounds weird, but I will try to actively not get a JRPG on my PS5 because I don't want to sit down on my desk and play a game. I know it's very, like, strange. It's a very, like, weird reason. It's a very, like, it's very just it's stupid. I know. I can't explain it really beyond that. I've talked about it in other videos where I'm like, I don't want to feel locked in, you know? But that's basically what it is. I like the mobility. I like in the house I live in, sometimes I want to go downstairs and play my games. I want to like go into another room and play games. I want to play games on my bed. I want to take my system with me outside and play games outside. Like, not in my home, whether it's at a friend's house, sometimes anywhere else. On vacation, I took it on a trip with me. I took my Switch 2 on a trip. I went to North Carolina to visit a friend for 4th of July, and I played it in tabletop mode in the plane. Like, that stuff is a big priority for me with video games. So, the reason I'm saying all this was, to actually get to the point, is I was ready to just stop buying games on my PS5 and my PC and go full on Switch 2. If the game plays good on Switch 2, I'll buy it physical, play it on Switch 2. I'm one of those people who, I have digital games. I have digital games on my Switch, I have digital games on my PlayStation. And before going all physical, I didn't really care. But then I kind of took the time to read into what digital gaming means, what does it mean for us as the consumer, what does it mean for us as owner in terms of ownership and all that. And then I started to realize how important physical gaming was for ownership, for legacy, for the future, for us as consumers. And when I heard of game keycards, I was very, very upset because I remember how important Nintendo Switch physical game collecting is for not only me, like, I mean, like, you can see my collection up there. It's hidden by some of the amiibos, but it's not as big as some of my other friends. Like, I have friends and other, like, fellow content creators whose collections span, like, entire shelves and, like, so many physical games. And it's like very gratifying to know that a game is fully on the cart, because that means like you have that ownership not only in terms of like you holding it in your hand, but like all that game data is there. Like, you don't need to connect to the internet, you don't need to download anything. You can play it wherever you want. You can take it outside with you. You can, when you don't have internet in the airport or on a car ride or whatever, like, you can do that. And it just seems to not be the case for the Switch 2. And I initially, in that first video that I made, I was blaming the third-party publishers. I was like, oh, it's all your fault. It's all your fault for not putting your games on the cartridge. You're taking the easy way out. You're, I know, like, it's cheaper to go game keycard. I understand. These companies don't want to sell at a loss. They want to make money. They want to save money in the most, like, in their, like, preferred way. They want to save money, obviously. But I was blaming it on the third parties, and the more information comes out, it turns out, like, Nintendo is only offering 64 gigs and game keycards. And when I realized that, I was even more upset, because it seems to be that Nintendo is the one kind of restricting the developers and not giving them options. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this to my friends on like Discord or in person, or I've been saying this a little bit on social media. I haven't like thrown my hat into the ring in the discussion on social media because it's a little heated. I'm a little scared to do that. But if Nintendo gave these publishers options, I may be thinking a little too optimistically here, but maybe they would take the chance and have their game fully on the cartridge. Like, imagine a game like Bravely Default or Puyo Puyo Tetris. This is the one that like threw me over the edge. Puyo Puyo Tetris, or whatever that game is called. I think it was like 4 gigs. I'm like, are you being serious? Game key card. And the only reason why is it's actually a valid reason. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's a valid reason. Because imagine, digital only, game key card, or 64 gigs. What do you want to do for Puyo Puyo Tetris? Do you want to waste money on a 64 gigabyte cartridge for 4 gigabyte Puyo Puyo Tetris? Like, that is the, to me as a consumer, it doesn't make sense. I think it's crazy. I think it's a little silly and idiotic that Nintendo is doing this. And I just don't understand. I'm like, I understand that publishers, and I understand Nintendo wants these games to be on the shelves of retail space. But I'm like, just make it make sense. Give them options, you know? Like, I know the Switch had options for like 4, 8, 16, 32, I think. I know like Tears of the Kingdom was one of the very few games to have a 32 gigabyte option. And a few other games were like code in the box or like download required, which wasn't all of them. It wasn't many. Like a lot of the third-party JRPGs that I got on Switch, all on the cartridge. And like, I don't know. It to me, like I say, make it make sense. Like Persona 3 Reload, I was expecting it. Game key card. It is what it is. Metaphor Fantasia, when that comes out, it's probably going to be a game key card. But like, if the game is under 64 gigs, I'm like, if it's in that like 30, 32 range, I'm like, come on, you know? Give us like more options, Nintendo. And I don't hate game key cards in the sense that like I want them gone, because they in a way they kind of need to exist. Like, think about massive games. Like, think about like Elden Ring, for example. I think kind of makes sense to be on a game key card, or even Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Like, those games will be massive in file size. I don't know how much. I don't think they've revealed it to us, but it is understandable if those games are on a game key card, because like they'll either be close to 64 gigs or they'll exceed 64 gigs. So it makes sense. But then there's games which are still above 64 gigs and then they're code in the box. I'm like, come on, you know? It's a kind of a messy situation, and honestly, I want them to figure it out. Like, we saw them release that survey. I was very vocal in that survey. I think I put it on the community post on my channel. I hope whoever's watching this video, I hope you guys voted in the survey. But yeah, I'm nervous. And I will say one more thing, and I hope you guys don't take this the wrong way. I am going to be as like reasonable about this as I can. All I'll say is I'm a little surprised that a lot of people are one, supporting it, and two, just kind of brushing this off. Like, again, like I said, I haven't gotten involved in a lot of the discussion online about this, but I'm seeing a lot of, like, I'm seeing people on both sides. I'm seeing the people who are very vocally upset about this, and then I'm seeing people who are very, like, they're just okay with it, and they're like, yeah, we'll just accept it. It's whatever. What did you expect? It's like a game key card. It was inevitable when it comes to the Switch 2. Or a lot of people are saying it's better than nothing. Of course, it's better than nothing. Of course, it is definitely better than nothing, but I have noticed a lot of people see any kind of criticism towards the Switch 2 or game key cards or anything like that, and just almost immediately kind of go into damage control and like try to defend the situation or try to see it from the bright side or be all positive about it or be like, oh, calm down, it's not that bad. And I'm like, yeah, I know some people are blowing it out of proportion. I know some people are being very negative about it in like Twitter or YouTube comment sections, and that's not good. Like, please be nice and be civil and be respectful. But in some ways, when people are disappointed about it, people want change, people want to voice their concerns, it's kind of like upsetting when people are like silenced on that, you know? Especially like I've seen a lot of people online who are like very devout physical game fans, collectors, and they're just getting like trashed for it, for being like, I feel this way about game key cards, I'm a little upset, I want Nintendo to change, I don't like this, and just putting their thoughts and opinions out there, and people just getting onto them for being like, oh, just move on, just accept it, and I'm like, it's more, there's more to the situation than just that, honestly. Also, one thing I wanted to say about game key cards, I don't know if I communicated this properly in the video, and I hope I'm still getting the point across, but I wanted to say this once more, like, separately on camera. If you are okay with game key cards, and if you guys appreciate game key cards for what they are, then that's fine. I don't have any ill will against you, and I also say that to other people who may be sort of sprouting negativity to other creators and other people on the internet, and just kind of like being mean and like sprouting negativity towards them or sending negativity their way. Don't do that. People have different opinions. We can discuss openly, honestly, and in a nice and civil way, but if you are a supporter of game key cards in any sort of way, I may not agree with you, but I don't support or I don't condone people being outwardly negative to other people about it. I just wanted to say that, and I hope I sort of came across that way in my video that I filmed a few days back. I hope I got my point across. And yeah, like I was saying about the different sizes, like I know 64 gigabytes is very expensive, and it's very understandable. Like, a lot of companies are not going to want to pay for all those 64 gigabyte cartridges. It's very expensive. But I don't necessarily know if giving other options is going to play a massive difference in the price. It might, but I also think, like, here's me cutting Nintendo a little bit of slack. I think a lot of this is just them trying to figure this thing out, this whole Switch 2 situation, because they're using different SD cards, they're using different cartridges, they're using this whole different kind of ecosystem, so they're trying to like warm themselves up to be prepared for the future. It is unfortunate that games that are on game key cards now will probably maybe not get reprints if we do get more cartridge size options in the future. And again, this doesn't mean we're going to get cartridge size options in the future because of rumors or survey results or anything, but if there is that potential possibility, I wonder if developers will take that option. I wonder if developers will listen to us, and I wonder if the price difference is going to be enough for them to make a conscious like decision in that way. So we'll see. We'll see about it in the future. I guess that's all I have to say on that front. But yeah, I guess one more thing about game key cards, like, I know you can resell them, I know you can trade them, I know they're not like tied to your account in that way, but I know it's a good medium for this, but like I said before, there's more to, or I guess I alluded to it before, there's more to physical games than just the fact that you can hold them. Like, maybe in like another 20 years, I want to give it to like a family member, or I want to play it again, or like whatever, you know? I know gaming is changing, the digital future is coming, the digital future is inevitable, but I want to still hold on to legacy titles as much as I can, so we'll see how that goes. Be respectful down below. Like, I again, when I said things about the game key cards, like, remember, be civil, be respectful, don't like trash on anyone else. If you feel a certain way, like, don't be afraid to say what you want to say, but be respectful, be civil, be nice, and don't be mean. Not only to me, but to anyone else. Yeah, whatever. What do you guys think of game key cards? What do you guys think of the Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you all so much for watching this video. This is Nishquick, signing off. Have a great day. Go play some great games today on your Nintendo Switch 2. Hopefully it's not a game key card. I'll see you guys in the next one later. Hey guys, this is Nishquick. Thank you so much for watching that video. And if you enjoyed it, check out these 2 videos on the left and maybe subscribe if you haven't on your way out. And big shout out to all my channel members whose names you can see on the screen right now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.